Hello and welcome to the very first teaser Q&A for Vectorworks. I'm Jim Wilson, the User Experience Manager here at Vectorworks. And if you didn't know, we started a yearly tradition a few years ago of leaking a teaser or a number of teasers in the weeks leading up to the actual release itself. This year, the video was released on Tuesday, just this past 2 days ago. And it was on class and layer filtering, a feature that it has filtering, search, and tag ability for classes and layers specifically, making it easier to navigate through them. If you haven't watched the video yet, you should probably go do that now, or some of these questions and answers might not make any sense, but this will be available later, so you can just come back to it if you want to watch that one first. You should be able to find the description, link to it in the description of this live stream, and if you want to make sure to be alerted to some of the live streams that we're going to be doing in the next few weeks, there's a follow button here on the interface that you'll be able to click to see the actual alerts on your Facebook whenever we do a live stream. This kind of feature, class and layer filtering, affects nearly everybody. It might be the most useful for when you've imported a very large DWG, or you've imported a file from someone else who uses a different class or layer structure than you do, and you're not familiar with it, and you need to scroll through a lot of different items in order to get where you want to go. But it's even beneficial if you're a one-person shop, because it allows you to be more comfortable with making more classes and more complex class and layer systems, because it's easier to navigate to where you want. You don't have to worry about scrolling through a huge long list before doing it. So I have a tendency to talk a little bit fast, so I'll attempt to keep that down, but I get excited about this stuff, so no promises. I have some questions already here that we got on the forum and from Facebook earlier, but please feel free to ask questions you want in the chat. That's no problem at all, and we'll see them and we'll answer them if we can. The first question here: do you have access to the instant search in the layer and class dropdowns in the object info palette when an object is selected? And the answer is yes. In the object info palette for classes and layers up at the top, you'll see it there. You'll see it in the navigation bar, you'll see it in the navigation palette, and you'll see it in the organization dialog box. There's a few other places where you'll see this search ability when you're assigning classes, but things like inside viewports and like the layer and class visibilities, you can see it there. It's not everywhere yet, but we want to bring it to as many places as possible. So if you don't see it there yet, you might see it there in the future. This is referring to the tagging system. Do the tags for classes and layers have to be set up in a template, or can you share them between existing files as resources? Yes, they don't file as resources. They don't show up in the resource manager. The classes are only going to be, the class and layer tags are just going to be stored in the document, sort of like line styles are, where they're just sort of in the background and you don't see them as a resource. Line styles used to be. But when you go to manage the classes, tags, or the layer filters, you'll be able to click that button and target a file and import any tags or filters from that file. So you can set pretty much anything you want up in just a resource file or transfer it to your template. Either one's fine. And you can either do all the tags or just some of them. It works a lot like layer or class import. Next question. Is there a way to see what tags have already been assigned to classes aside from right-clicking on them or editing them? And the answer is yes. In the organization dialog box, there's a new column just called tags, and it'll list any tags you have just right in that interface, right in that column. It didn't fit in the navigation palette. We're looking into a way that we might be able to show them there, but for now it'll just be in the organization dialog for 2019. Will the tagging and filtering be available via VectorScript and Python? It's a soft yes. The tags, you can get object tag and set object tag are two VectorScript calls, but I don't believe there's any integration with filtering yet. We mentioned it to one of the developers and they're looking into it now. So if you do have something that you want to do with vector scripting in relation to the tag and filtering system, please put it on our forum or put it in the Facebook chat and we'll talk to that developer and see if it's possible for us to do. Will the search appear when you're creating classes or layers? No, it does not yet. When you're in the create dialog, there's no class and layer filtering there. But as soon as I saw that question, I thought it would be useful when you start to type a class name in there. You can see, oh, I have all these other classes I could just pick from it, so you have your subclasses in a chain. I think that's a great addition, and we should add that. So that has been filed as a wish list item already. The next question, let's check the chat, make sure that's good to go. There we go. And there we go. There's a question about BIMX, but Nomad, but we're not going to be addressing anything else. All the questions have to be on this particular topic. There'll be a few more teasers where we're going to do some more subjects. Anytime we do one of those, you can ask about any of the previous topics we've had or the existing one, but we can't talk about any other release stuff yet. They're still hush-hush on those things. The next one is, will it be available in all versions of Vectorworks? I assume fundamentals is the question, and the answer is yes. You will be able to use this feature. Class and layer filtering will work in Fundamentals, Designer, Spotlight, all the different Vectorworks modules. It'll work in all of those. The next one is there an easy way to filter the navigation palette to show all classes, but keep it so that two particular classes are always visible? None in dimension of the example they use here. We weren't able to come up with a system that was clean that allowed us to designate which of those classes should always be shown. Sort of the opposite of non-plot, where no matter what you filtered, it would always show you none in dimension, for instance, up at the top first, and then show the rest. This does sound useful. We're looking into it now. It won't be anything for 2019, but we're looking into it. The next question is, if you filtered classes in the navigation palette, will there be any actions that trigger it to reset to viewing all classes? So the search filtering is session-based, which means if you have a document open and you've pulled up that filter and you've applied it, if you go to look somewhere else or go drawing with another tool and then come back to that menu, that filter will still be applied. If you close the document with a filter applied and then open it again, it will reset so that it's just right back to showing all of it. So the idea being that if you've forgotten you had a filter on it, you won't be confused if you come back to a file after a while. It is also file specific. So if you've filtered in one particular class and then one particular document, and then you tab over to another one, that other document won't show the same filters. They'll keep per file. So you could have different filters applied in every single file you had open. Yes, restarting the Vectorworks will do it. Closing the document will reset it, and those are the only two actions I believe that reset it, other than manually just hitting escape and clearing it out with that X button at the top next to the search box. Let's see, next question is, if you, let's see, no, it looks like it. That looks like that's all our questions. If you got any more, please go ahead and ask them. I'll see if I can get them in time. Thank you for joining us. And again, if you want to see the rest of these teasers, make sure you just click the follow or the notification for the videos. Following the channel alone apparently doesn't always notify you, but there's a live notification on this video that you should be able to click. Then thank you for joining us. Please feel free to put any questions or comments in the bottom. This live stream itself is a bit of a beta test. So anything you like or didn't like or would like to see or would like me to stop doing, please go ahead and put that in the chat and we'll take a look at it. I hope to see you all next week, same time, same day, and I'll see you at the Teaser Tuesday. Have a good one.